Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahia, not Allah. It's Yahweh. His only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christus, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders over all of Israel. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing the truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. And shalom to the Awathium who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from the Gym Master Orlando Camp, coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification, another daily edification. Lord's willing, this be edifying. And this is just another update about wars and rumors of wars and these intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are the weapons of the Lord's armory. So Lord willing, this be edifying.
Welcome back again, everyone. It's Dina Calmety here, and for today's broadcast, I just have a few short headlines I'd like to share with you, as I'm not going to be able to do a broadcast tomorrow. So I figured I'd get you caught up on some headlines today. So with that said, let's talk about Israel first. It is being reported that apparently a rocket was fired from Gaza at southern Israel, and in return, the IDF has retaliated with a strike. Palestinians in the Gaza Strip fired a rocket at Israel on late Monday. However, there were no casualties or damage. Sirens sounded in areas of southern Israel neighboring Gaza to warn of the incoming fire, for which there was no claim of responsibility. Hours later, the army said an Israeli Defense Forces aircraft struck a Hamas military installation in retaliation for the rocket fire. There are no immediate reports of casualties. The last cross-border rocket attack, after which Israel retaliated with air raids, came on September 15th and coincided with the signing in Washington. But a truce mediated by Qatar has since held. In the meantime, Military.com is reporting that Israel's Ministry of Defense has delivered the first two Iron Dome indirect fire protection systems to the U.S. Army. But it's still uncertain whether the technology will fit into the service's modernization vision. The Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz said in a news release that the Iron Dome system is a part of Israel's multi-layered missile defense system and reflects the strength of the Israeli defense establishment. As a result of the effectiveness of this system, many deaths were prevented on the home front of southern Israel. I am proud that this advanced system will also protect U.S. Army troops. The Army does expect to receive the second round of Iron Dome battery by February and plans to spend next spring trying to ensure that the systems can work effectively with the IBCS.
This is, real quick, put it back on there for a second. This is Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16. And it reads, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument for his works. And I have created a waster to destroy. Who is this that's creating the wasters? Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. To do what? These are the weapons of war, man. Okay? This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. It reads, For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. This is how they fought in the ancient time. When you think about Alexander the Greek and Antiochus Epiphanes and all these different battles in the ancient time was fought with shields and swords and daggers. Okay? Again, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. How is it going to be with burning fuel of fire? From what you see on the screen. Missiles, man. intercontinental ballistic missiles. These are the weapons of the Lord's armory. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 25. It reads, The Lord, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. What? Missiles, man. This World War III will be fought with missiles, man. Okay?
With the IBCS. So it certainly seems like the US and Israel are getting cozy as of lately. And
Why is that, man? Why is that? Because of this verse. Jeremiah 50 and 45. It reads, Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, that he have taken against Babylon, and his purpose and his proposes that he have proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who is the least of the flock? It's talking about Israelis, man. Israel. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. He's going to make the Israelis, Israel, the so-called Jews, habitation to be destroyed with the Babylonians, man. Okay? That's what it's talking about. They shall fall together, man. The Israel and Babylon, the least of the flock and the harlot shall fall together, man.
we have seen this relationship grow within the last 3.5 years. And I believe while President Trump is in office, it will continue to grow. But according to prophecy, the only person that will defend Israel will be God himself. And that's in regards to the Gog-Magog war. And
the Lord is not going to defend the land of Israel, man. He's going to defend the Hebrew Israelites. And we not in the land, man. Okay? We scattered amongst the four corners of the earth. You got a few sprinkle of Hebrew Israelites in the land of Israel, but they going to be destroyed. At least they repent, convert, and be healed, man. Okay? It tell you that when you go to, let me see, let's get this. Isaiah, 31. Let's read this. Isaiah 31 and 5. As birds flying. So you got to picture this in your mind. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. The Lord, the same way how birds fly in a V shape, this is how Yahweh shall coming back with the angels, man. As I tell you in Psalms 68 and 17, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. So can you imagine 20,000 chariots flying in a V shape with Yahweh Shai in the front as he cracked the clouds? Let's read again, Isaiah 31 and 5. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. So, this is not talking about the land of Israel. It's talking about so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, man. Okay, the elect. This is Jeremiah 3 and 18. It reads, In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. This ain't talking about the land. It's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. And they shall come together. It shows you it's not talking about the land, man. It's talking about the people. Right? In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north, North America, to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. So we're going to go back into the land. The Israelites would not go back into the land of Israel, into Jerusalem, until Yahweh shall return and destroy the earth and replenish the earth, refurbish the earth, and we're going back into the land, man.
In the book of Ezekiel. But with that said, let's move on and talk about the US and China. A not so cozy relationship. But it is being reported that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo began meetings on Tuesday with his Asian and Indo-Pacific counterparts as Washington looks to solidify support among the regional allies at a time of historic historical tension ties with China. Washington greatly values the meeting of these group of foreign ministers of Japan, Australia, and India as a platform to strengthen its solidarity against China with regional allies. It goes on further to report that Pompeo told reporters that they are hoping to have some significant announcements and some significant achievements. The timing of this is important, and I'm glad we're able to put it together and make it happen this week. Now, China has denounced this particular group as an attempt to contain its development. But while the meeting may not yield a specific action plan, the very fact of its gathering would serve as a warning to China and play to its fears that it might one day grow into a formalized grouping, such as NATO. It goes on finally to report that the Indian Foreign Ministry spokesman said that the foreign ministers are likely to emphasize their support for a free and open Indo-Pacific region at the meeting. In the meantime, the United States and Russia will hold a round of nuclear arms control talks in Finland's capital. The Finnish president stated that the round of discussions on strategic stability and nuclear weapons between the U.S. and Russia, which began in Vienna in the summer, will continue on Monday. The officer said that nuclear arms negotiators from Washington and Moscow met a previous time in Finland in 2017. The talks are aimed at producing a new agreement to replace the New START treaty that expires in February, the last remaining pact constraining the arsenals of the world's two major nuclear powers. So here is some good news, and we shall wait to see what happens there. And I will continue to bring you updates in regards to this nuclear agreement. But let's move on and talk about North Korea.
Now you see that? This is supposed to be a house that's together as one. But they are separated, man. These nations are separated. As I read in the lesson earlier, when you read in Daniel 2:43, right? They shall mingle themselves with the seeds of men, but they will not cleave one to another. This is talking about the Idumeans against the other heathen nations, man. This is Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. What is this? A house being divided. This is talking about the modern day Babylonians, okay? The Idumeans, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the Babylonians, the North American Edomites, against who? Against the Russian Edomites and against all the other heathen nations, man. Again, Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I, who, Yahweh Bashim Shai, will destroy the counsel thereof. That's what we see going on every day in the news. The counsel is being destroyed in this place, man. Okay? They are separate. The council, they are not on one page together, man. It said, the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the council thereof. And that's what's going on, man. The council is being destroyed. And what are they doing? And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to wizards. But what? It will not work, man. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai of hosts. Hey, this place, North America, Babylon the Great, and all the countries around the world that is being ruled by heathens and other Edomites, they are separate. They are not on the same page, man. This is Luke 11:17. It reads, but he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. When you deal with the UN, it's over 193 nations that's joining North America. They are not on one page, man. They are all separate, man. The Lord is separating these nations. This is Mark chapter 3 and verse 24. It reads, Mark 3:23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against Satan, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. So these are Satan's against Satan's, man. Okay, you got the seed of Satan against the seeds of the wicked, man, against the seeds of men. The seeds of the wicked against the seeds of men, and they are not cleaving, man. They just mingling. Okay? They just mingling. And this is Revelation 17:17. It reads, for Yahweh, Bahashim Habashai, have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree. Right now they're gonna agree right now for the moment, but they still at separation, and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of power shall be fulfilled. So they agreeing, but they ain't on one accord, man. They are not on one accord, man. It's a separation. They are mingling, as it say in Daniel 2:43. They are mingling, but they will not cleave one to another, man.
Apparently, the North Korean state media published an article on Monday promoting Iran's upgraded submarine-launched missile and various other weapon systems, adding to the speculation that North Korea may unveil its own strategic weapon. In an article titled Measures to Strengthen National Defense Capabilities in Various Countries, reported how Iran has allegedly upgraded various military technologies, including new radar systems and a submarine-launched ballistic missile.
See? It's Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the heart, man. You see the Lord got them doing? What the Lord got them doing? Let's read it. This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It reads, prepare ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares in the swords and your pruning hooks in the spears. Let the weak say I am strong. This is what the Spirit of the Lord got them doing, man. Making better missiles, man. To do what? Every battle warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But World War III will fought with what? With fuel of fire, man. From missiles, man. This is what it's about, man. This is the new normal, man. This is the new world order right here. World War III. Getting these missiles together, man. Which is the weapons of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, man.
Paper, which serves as the official newspaper of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and is one of the only media outlets available to North Korean citizens, also noted how the Iranian military had allegedly recently succeeded in extending the range of their ballistic missile, JASK-2. Now, it is not uncommon for North Korean state media to report on Iran's military advances. The two regimes have held close diplomatic and military ties since the 1980s, and both harbor ambitions of becoming undisputed nuclear powers, much to the concern of Western governments. But the latest report has added to speculation that North Korea may unveil its own latest strategic weapon during Saturday's military parade.
You see that? Again, Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. Plowshares is tools of agriculture. Pruning hooks are tools of agriculture, man. The Lord is saying, forget that. Take that money and put it into military arsenal, man. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. Pruning hooks and plowshares are used for farming. The Lord said, take that money and put it into these missiles, these intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of the founding of the Workers' Party of Korea. And analysts say that this weapon is likely to be an upgraded intercontinental ballistic missile. So this really isn't a surprise coming from North Korea. But South Korea is monitoring developments that North Korea could possibly test a submarine-launched ballistic missile despite pleas from them and the international community to refrain from doing so. And I reported on this, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, and we haven't seen anything yet coming out of North Korea. But we could see something on Saturday, at least during the parade. And if that's the case, it certainly seems like he's not stopping his development of nuclear weapons, which could cause a headache for the Trump administration. But I would like to move on and close the broadcast with some other notable headlines that have occurred in the last couple of days. Apparently, a Florida teen was arrested at school after refusing to wear a mask. In the meantime, there is a new technology that will refuse entrance to shops if you're not wearing a mask. California is stating that you need to keep your mask on between bites while dining out. So this certainly seems like a preconditioning for the mark of the beast in the future. Because apparently with the new technology, you're not going to be able to go shopping without your mask. You will be refused at the door. So definitely some interesting headlines there. But here is another very serious one. Hurricane Delta has continued to strengthen and is now a Category 4. It's forecasted to strike Cancun and then the U.S. Gulf Coast later this week. So need to keep those people in those areas in our prayers. In the meantime, over in California, wildfires has caused the moon to glow red over the state. 7 space rocks to pass by Earth just this week. Mars will shine especially bright in the sky tonight as the red planet makes its closest approach to Earth in 17 years. And over in New York, according to the governor, religious institutions have been a problem, and he's threatening to shut down churches and synagogues, as well as schools, with many more restrictions returning in 9 neighborhoods. And the Regal movie chain will close all 536 U.S. theaters on Thursday. And finally, mass sea animal deaths in Russia raise alarms for possible ecological catastrophe. And there are even more headlines than that. And I will further get you caught up later in the week.
Hey, so Lord, what is edifying? Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakodash, the abundance of the apostles and elders of great millstone, rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel. And a sincere salutation to all the ark and pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the 4 ends of the earth, the entire world, working on the hope of the elect. And shalom to the Akwathim who are listening and learning, and the few sisters who are listening and learning. This was another news update. Lord, what was edifying? You see what's going on in the world. All these things is playing out. So till next time, I say shalom. Wa abad.